At the end of the day, 1,000 people loving your stuff is a lot of people. If you have 1,000 people in a room that want to watch you, like, that's a big deal. So I don't, as much as I'd love to have like 10 million subscribers, I love the fact that 12,000 plus people decided they liked my content enough to click subscribe. So if you're a music creator in 2020 and you're not on YouTube yet, I think you're doing yourself a huge disservice. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. So after I tell you a little bit about why I think you, as a music creator, should be on YouTube, I'm going to give you some ways I think you can get into doing YouTube for essentially free or for very low investment. Because before I got my gear set up for video to the point where it is now, I was using pretty crap gear. And I wasn't even really exploiting that to the full extent I could have been, because I didn't know what I know now. So first, I want to tell you why I think you should actually be on YouTube in the first place. Now, this all stems from a good amount of online engagement I've had with people where either we're trying to collaborate on something, or we're just chatting, and I realized that the person I'm talking with has very little online presence, but they're kind of disgruntled about why no one is watching their stuff, but they don't really have any stuff. And part of this comes from Adam Ivy. If you never checked out his YouTube channel, I'll leave a link in the description and up above. He has this motto where it's, done is better than perfect. And I think that really tells the story here. But to push that a little further, I think a lot of people who I've seen who do this, they're kind of afraid, or they don't see the reason why they should get into YouTube in the first place, because they see people with 1.5 million subscribers and they think of it as a competition. How could I ever get to that point when I'm getting started 15 years late, essentially? Now, I did have some benefit from starting my YouTube channel early. In 2006, I think was my first video, maybe 2007, and I didn't post much. I just posted some random things, and they kind of went off, and that's what really got me started to posting regularly. And I took a lot of breaks over the years and changed my content up, but I did benefit from starting early. That being said, most of my growth has come recently, where that early growth kind of didn't matter. It probably helped me a little bit, but most of it's just been recently in this competitive landscape that we have today in 2020. So the first big reason I think you should get into YouTube is that you need a way for people to interact with you, and you need to have content to hook people in. Now, I've seen a lot of music creators who just have a YouTube channel where they post their video will just be their music with a picture of the artwork on it. And that just doesn't really cut it. Those videos are fine, but they can't be your sole content. Not on YouTube, not on Instagram. You need to have more than that. And in terms of what you can do, as a music creator, you have a lot of skills that people want if you're good at making music. You can teach people how to do what you do. And that's just one aspect. You can make a whole channel just teaching tutorials in Ableton Live. You can make another whole channel focused on just Logic. You can make another video on actually miking things up and how to EQ and stuff like that. But that's just one aspect. Now, the other thing you can do is you can make videos showing you writing music. And a lot of people really love this. For example, Deadmau5, I don't know if he still does, but he has done at least a lot of live streams where he just writes music in front of people, and they eat it up. And I bet a significant portion of those people aren't even artists themselves. They're just interested in the whole music process, and they're interested in the personality. Now, another thing you could do, you could start kind of a vlog type channel just about your life. Musicians aren't only musicians. I'm not just a musician. I do a lot of other things, and I could do a vlog where I talk about all these other things. But for my channel, I focus more on musicians as my target audience, but you don't have to. So that's the point. Those are the types of content you can do, and that's the first reason. You want to hook people in, and whether that audience is directly tied to your music or not, it doesn't really matter. You're getting eyeballs on your music, and that will help spread your content further to other people when it is about your music. Now, the next big reason why you should be on YouTube is a little more nuanced. It will help you get in the habit of doing things yourself and just making content and upgrading your presence on camera, which is important no matter what. Because at the end of the day, if you only just want to post music, you're still going to be talking to an audience at some point. And that ties into a lot of things. That's being on camera and feeling somewhat comfortable, and that's interacting with people via email, building an email list, starting a business. All of that stuff ties into YouTube. It's the same kind of process. I think it teaches you a lot of skills as a musician, but aside from just hooking people in, it's going to really grow you as an artist, which essentially means you are your own business. And to tie that into something personal, because of my experience on YouTube, shooting videos, editing them, being comfortable on camera, I've been able to create my own ads that I can run to promote my music. And I'm more comfortable getting in front of a camera and saying, my single just came out. I think you'll really love it. I've targeted you specifically because you love the same music I do. Check out my music. You're used to being yourself on camera. So that's one way that I've utilized that. The other aspect is you have this film equipment that you've collected over the years, and you can use that. Or maybe you're getting really good at shooting videos on your phone and editing them. Now you can make pretty good music videos with your phone. These things can shoot 4K. 4K video on your freaking phone. Now, it's not going to compete with an actual nice camera, but it'll do the job. And really, at the end of the day, it comes down to more the artistic aspect behind the video and the lighting behind the video. The camera's important, but it's not the most important thing. So that ties us into our next aspect of how can you actually get into YouTube if you don't have all this budget to go and actually do it. And of course, I just talked about my phone. This phone I didn't really get it for video specifically, but it does have a nice camera. It's a Galaxy Note 9, and it shoots 4K video, and it shoots 1080p video, and it looks pretty great. And there's people online who make full short films using smartphones, specifically the same phone I do. And there's other phones with better cameras. So the gear is not really an excuse to get into it. You can make all your YouTube videos shot on your phone and edited in a free software. Now, in terms of free software, I've been using Mac for so long that I'm only familiar with Mac softwares. iMovie comes free installed on every Mac. So that's the first thing I used. And I know people who still use it because they don't want to pay $60 a month for Creative Cloud, which gives you Premiere. You can also pay like $300 and get After Effects, and that's a perfectly great option to have. But in terms of my free recommendation, your phone that you already have and iMovie that you already have if you're on a Mac, Google free video editing software for Windows. I bet you will find something free that people use and love. Phone, free. Old camera that your parents have, free. Better than a phone? Maybe, I don't know. GoPro, if you already have one, that could be a great option. Canon Rebel SL2, pretty cheap in the grand scheme of things, and it's going to get you into a whole world of videography, cinematography, whatever you want to call it, and photography, which is another whole world in itself. Now, in case you're the type of person with a big budget, I'll tell you what I'm using, which is not the best of the best, because the best of the best is too expensive for me. But I'm using a Canon EOS R, and I have a good selection of lenses right now. And sometimes I shoot in 4K. Right now I'm not, because I wanted a certain framing of my video that my camera doesn't allow me to do this bigger shot in 4K. It'll tighten it down to like this, and I'll have to go all the way back. And so that's the limitation I have, but that's what my current setup is. And in terms of my whole setup, there's links in the description to go to Amazon if you want to check out what I have. Just scroll down until you see the video gear I use section, and you can see the full setup. Now, before I end this video, I want to leave you with some general tips that I've learned. This is going to be like a full YouTube growth strategy guide or something, but this is just quick things that I've learned that I think are critically important that you should keep in mind as you're getting into making YouTube videos. 1, the most important thing in the world is the topic and the storyline of your video. 2, you should have great audio quality. Links in the description for the specific microphone I'm using for this, but as a musician, you certainly appreciate this. 3, lighting is more important than camera gear. This is something that I've learned a lot more recently. No matter how good of a camera you have, if the lighting's horrible, the shot's gonna look horrible. So just look up, there's tons of content on YouTube for how to light your videos properly, and there's some very cheap gear on Amazon and even just Walmart. Just go get some lights and just learn about lighting and how to do that before you invest a ton of money in camera gear. Number 4, great thumbnail, great title, great description, great tags. And really in that order. You want a very hooking, engaging thumbnail and title, and then your description should also be engaging and be related to the title and the thumbnail and the topic, and then your tags are kind of there last as a catch-all for specific terms that are also in your title and description to hook people in, maybe even some typos of common terms people might search when they're trying to find your video. 5, try to upload in some kind of schedule. My channel took off the most initially when I started uploading weekly, and then even more so when I started uploading 2 times a week. Now, I don't think every type of content is suited for like daily uploads or weekly uploads or monthly uploads. It's all different. It depends on the amount of work your videos take to do. I've been doing 2 videos a week. I did it all 2019, and I didn't hit it perfect every time, but that's what I strived for, and I hit like 95%. And so to me, that was success. Now this video I'm doing 2 times a week because that seems to be a nice spot for my channel, but I'm loosening things up a little bit, and every month I'm gonna only do one. So I'm doing 7 videos a month. Tip number 6, which I'll make the last tip so I don't make this video infinitely long, do your channel on something that you love, because this is a long, slow grind, and you're never gonna do it to the quality you need to do it if you're not doing it in a way that you enjoy doing it. So, for example, I started off doing vocal lessons, and I loved it when I was doing it. And I grew a relatively big following doing vocal lessons, but I realized over time I was just getting bored. You know, that's one thing, and I loved it, but it was just too much of one thing. I'm not the kind of person to just do one thing. If you knew me in real life, you know that I'm pretty eccentric when it comes to different things I do. You know, I find one thing that I love and I'm interested in, and I just dive down that. And then that may change in 3 months. So I got bored and I stopped doing YouTube a couple times, and then I was like, people really love this, I'm gonna get back into it. And then I eventually just stopped again. And then when I came back doing things a lot more, I was just like, I'm just gonna do whatever I wanna do. Because at the end of the day, it's me spending, 20, 40 hours a week of my own time doing video related things. Now that's not all YouTube, that's also my Instagram and my other stuff, but at the end of the day, my content is me spending basically an entire work week of my own free time working on it. So don't do it for anyone else. Do it in a way that makes you love it. If you don't love doing it, you're never going to do it. So that's the last tip I'll leave you with. But that being said, I think every single one of you watching this video can find a topic that you love, that'll interest you for years on end, that you can make a great channel around that people will love. It's not competition. There's enough fish in the sea for all of us to find our own little communities. And at the end of the day, 1,000 people loving your stuff is a lot of people. If you have 1,000 people in a room that want to watch you, like, that's a big deal. So I don't, as much as I'd love to have like 10 million subscribers, I love the fact that 12,000 plus people decided they liked my content enough to click subscribe. That it's just awesome. So even if you have 100 people, just think about that in terms of real life. So I hope that inspired you to think about how you can get into this whole YouTube thing. If you're going to do it, leave a comment below telling me what your channel is going to be about. And if you already have a channel, let me know in the description. Don't put a link because YouTube blah 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 doesn't like links. But just say in the comments what your video is about and what your channel name is if it's not the channel that you're already on. And I'll come check you guys out. And of course, don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.